Good morning, YouTube. This is man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, we're gonna have kind of a slow next few weeks when it comes down to women's bodybuilding. As you know, there's not that many shows left for the season. I believe there's at least counting Savannah, uh, Europa, the Rising Phoenix, and also the Romanian Muscle Fest. There's only 4 shows left before the Olympia for women's bodybuilding. But there still is women's physique. And physique, as I said again, was created as alternatives to bodybuilding for women that want to push the limits of their physical looks and all that other stuff. I mean, it's just some debate. But I think it's still bodybuilding. The well formula is still bodybuilding. So I decided, I want to pay attention to this show because it shows. I think I talked about the show before. And this show is in Texas, and Texas is becoming a mecca for bodybuilding. I mean, a lot of bodybuilders who I follow live there, and some bodybuilders who I've become acquainted with are there. So this is the Texas Pro. It's also a pro am show, which means there's it's a show that lasts for 2 days. It starts tomorrow till Saturday. And I believe the amateur part's tomorrow, or is the pro part? I'm trying to remember. I'll figure it out later. But anyway, at this show we have women's physique is the only thing representing women's bodybuilding in the form that it is. And Sarah Vegas, who is the two-time Olympia champion, has put up $15,000 as prize money. Now, there's a debate about a competitor doing this, but the fact is, bodybuilding is, so many shows are based on the sponsors. And if sponsors don't want to step up and put the money into bodybuilding, why not somebody in the bodybuilding world? Why not somebody who's a competitor? So why not? I mean, there's a debate about that. But anyway, much respect to Sarah Vegas for stepping up when it's needed and probably most definitely necessary. Now this is a deep lineup, and this is like 20 some women. Now this is it's getting close to Olympic qualification, and some of these women are jumping onto shows that can probably get them qualification for the Olympia. And this show was a pretty good show last year, so it came back, and it's Olympic qualification. We just had Tampa. We had at least 30. That's about 30 physique competitors, and this show at least over 20. And physique always gets stacked. I mean, it's stacked division. So anyway, first up we have here is Ryan Bay, or better known Olivia Bay, and she's from China. Now, Olivia, she did the Chicago just about 3 weeks ago and didn't do too good. So, I think she got in the top 10. It's compared to she won Chicago 2020. So let's wish her good luck. Here we have Sarah Bowe from Canada, and I'm a fan of female bodybuilders from Canada. She competed at the Toronto Pro just about a couple of months back. Then we have one of my favorite people of all time. It's one of my friend, the dear lovely Miss Brittany Big Lemonade Brooks. This is gonna be her second show this year. She did Omaha a few months ago, and I wish her best of luck. I hope her all the best of luck. Here we have is Jessie Campbell, and Jessie just earned her pro card about a week or so ago. So this is gonna be her pro debut. She looks pretty impressive. I think she has a great physique. Here we have Pamela Canfield. Also, we have is Desanka Dawson, and I think she had seen us since 2020. We also have here's another debuting pro is Blair Downing, and then we also had Linka Funakova, who took second in the show last year, who won the Tampa last year, and this year she tied for 16th. And that was the best showing for her. Linka always comes very impressive, but this was not the best showing for her this year. Then we have here is Eve Gagan. I mean, she's from Canada. We have his Heather Grace. Heather competed at Tampa this year, and she was competing as women's bodybuilding. Went back to physique. We have here is Ana Hadis from Mexico, and Ana shook second to Tampa. Now she's number 4 in the Olympia standings, but she has to get enough points or either win the show to get to Olympia. So let's say big luck to Senorita Hadis. Then we have here a lovely lady who I've been acquainted with, Miss Nicole Higgins. I reached out for an interview. She made her pro debut at the Ultima show about a few months ago, so I hope she does pretty good at this show too. Then we have here is the Olympia qualified and Ashley Jones. Now, Ashley just won Chicago just about 3 weeks ago, and she's doing this show because she's from Texas. She won it last year, So, and last year Ashley was going to the Olympia, but then she got sick and she had to drop out. I would think this is the thing I would say. Like, I know this is in your backyard, Texas, but it'd be smarter just to focus on the Olympia. She should skip the show. There's a possibility she might win the show depending on how her conditions come in, but it'd be better if she skipped the show and focus on the Olympia. Next up, we have here one Miss Michelle Jones. She's from my home state of North Carolina. Cara Lock Kirlock. She's from Canada also. We have here Dolly Lazar. We have here Temery Murphy, Brooke Pigeon. I think it's Pigeon. I think it is the name. I'm sorry, I've got it wrong. We have here Ashley Richardson, who did Tampa. I did a video about Miss Ashlyn Richardson. Miranda Sandersons, who just turned pro back in 2019. She turned pro the same time as Jada Beverly did, and at the same show. So good luck to her. Deanna Schneid, who did Chicago about 3 weeks ago and then did Tampa last week. Michelle Steves, who did Tampa also. And Melissa Tech, we hadn't seen her since I think 2021. She competed at the Rising Phoenix, and and she might be possibly making, if you can make the top 5. It's all depending. It's been a while, so it's getting close, but there's still a little bit more shows of physique than compared to women's bodybuilding. Now, I'm going to talk about a little about figure because, I need to talk about, because I think figure is more like, it's close to bodybuilding than any other division. It's kind of like in between, bikini and bodybuilding. That's where I see it. But the women still have a level of muscle that's compared to a lightweight female bodybuilder. So, but particularly I want to talk about how there's 2 women this show that's competing in this, and they have a long list. I don't know all the competitors, so I'm not going to focus on too many of them, but I'm going to focus on 2 particular ones who just competed about a week ago, and that is Jessica Padilla Reyes. Now, Jessica won the Tampa Bay show, and this is going to be her 4th show since then. Now, she done the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. She did a show in Columbia, and turned around and did Tampa Bay. Now doing this show. I'm telling you, she needs to slow down. I mean, I understand you get your qualification. I'm saying this, you get your qualification. Slow down. You don't need to keep doing these shows. And I know she lives in Texas. I know she's doing a show because it's in Texas. Also, another Texas local is Lahara Robinson. And, Lahara just did the Tampa also. She did, I think, I believe she did the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic along with, you know, um, Jessica. So I wish her good luck. I hope she's a friend of my dear friend, Miss Brittany Brooks. So I hope her good luck, But anyway, this is the one I've been talking about before. Texas is a growing mecca for bodybuilding. There's a lot of competitors that live there. Like I said, I mentioned Brittany Brooks. She's there. But also the We Just Strength should expand because Tim Gardner has a show. I think it's in San Antonio, but it doesn't have women's bodybuilding, and I wonder why. I mean, but what should happen is recently, and I heard this, that Mona Persolet left Canada and moved to Texas. She lives in Houston because, like I said, because it's a mecca. She's not that far from Williamsburg in Arizona. Texas not too far from Arizona, but she moved there because the travel back and forth to Canada, all the guidelines, it's just, and also the whole time she couldn't work out in gym. She had to get her own gym at home. So America's a little more. Texas is a little more liberal, especially with the whole thing with the virus. But that's why she's moved down to Texas because it's a growing mecca. Also, that Myla Ash lives in Texas. That's where she's from. And that'd be a good reason why. Also, my dear friend Miss Shay Mashaka, she's in Texas. She competed at the Texas Pro last year as a physique competitor, and then before that she competed at the Tampa Bay as a bodybuilder. So she's been double dipping. And then you can't forget Jamie Savage. Jamie Savage we did an interview with. We still in contact. Me and Jamie were talking the other night. And she's this would be a great for her opportunity to make her pro debut, especially if it's in her own backyard in Texas. She wants to go to across the other side of the country to go compete in the show. Did also same thing with Winnie Sanchez. She lives in Colorado, and Texas is not much of a there's just Oklahoma between Texas and Colorado. She would probably love to go to a show like that. She may, if she's a big motorcycle enthusiast, she might want to drive down there. instead of have to take a flight across the other side to the country, like to New York and to Pittsburgh. She'll probably love that. One thing if we can get is a sponsor to sponsor women's bodybuilding in Texas. I would say Linda Murray could have a show in Texas. Now she has two in Georgia. Why not in Texas? It's cheaper to do shows in the South because it's cheaper to find a good venue. I would say don't do a show in Dallas or in Houston or in San Antonio. Too expensive. Maybe I might ask Brittany, what would be a good place if you want to do a bodybuilding show? Would be too expensive. I would say maybe Austin. Austin's very popular because Austin's a more liberal city in Texas than most others. And I think she do it. I also can't forget another legend in Texas is Vicky Gates, one of my favorite all-time favorite bodybuilders. Vicky Gates. She had a show, the Vicky Gates Classic, back in the day, but it was only back in 2016. And I think she never did it again because it couldn't get the sponsors. But if they can do this, if We Strength can do this, reach out to Vicky Gates. And if you can't get Laura to do it, reach out to Linda to do it. You can reach out to Vicky Gates and say, "Hey, Vicky, we want to do a show. We're naming that to you, and then we'll add women's bodybuilding to it." Because like I said, Vicky was one of the unsung female. Unsung women to become Miss Olympia. I think she never became Miss Olympia. She's like one of those women that always wanted. We wanted to see Miss Olympia, but never became Miss Olympia. She's been a two-time, I think a three-time Miss International champion. But always that old saying, always a bridesmaid, but never a bride. But like I said, Louise Swift can do this. They have the connections, they have the abilities. All you gotta do is get the sponsors. And the sponsors out there, there's guys out there who are probably too afraid to admit that they're fans of bodybuilding who can sponsor you. You don't have to. You can have somebody be spokesman for you. You don't have to be you. But you know what? Sponsor this. Try to get a show in Texas. But anyway, it's this the Texas Pro is promoted by Battle Up Productions. So like I said, there's the link in the description. I think they're gonna do a live stream because I don't I can check. If I'll post a link into the description so you can check it out. So if there's a live stream and watch it, I might watch it. A little depending on how it affects my 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 budget. But I might check it out because, like I said, is this my dear friend Brittany Brooks? I mean, it's just an opportunity for her to do a show in her backyard, and I think this is a great opportunity. It's a growing, like I said, it's a growing mecca in Texas for bodybuilding because I think the weather's a little bit better compared to other parts of the state because it's a little warmer down there. Unless other than that freak storm they had almost a couple of years back, it really has any bad weather. That's why a lot of bodybuilders move there, like Florida and California. Those places are a little bit more, tolerable, especially for muscle to grow. But check out the show. Support women's bodybuilding. No matter if it's not women's bodybuilding, it's still women's bodybuilding one form or another. Physique is just women's bodybuilding, but just the girls a little bit smaller and a little bit more about femininity than anything. But support this show. Maybe we can have this show next year. And maybe also, if we get sponsors, if we get somebody to put the money up, maybe we can add women's bodybuilding to the show. It'd be great. It'd be another show for women bodybuilding to have, especially when you have these little looms between the next shows. We want that. We want more consistency for women's bodybuilding. And like I say, physique is still women's bodybuilding, but just a different form of it. So anyway, support these women, support the sport. If you are, like I said again, if you are genuinely interested in sponsoring a bodybuilding show, genuinely interested, reach out to the right people, put up the money, and like I said, if you're not, then shut up. I'm just kidding the stream, but like I said, I'm being honest with you folks. Like I just did the live stream about promoting and money and stuff like that. But this sport really needs some help. It does. And if there's people out there who have the means to do it, please do it. This sport needs all the help it can get. Even if it's people within the sport who's doing it, it's still people that's doing it. Anyway, this is man always George Page, aka the Emperor Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.